Hello, my name is Qamar and I welcome you all to yet another class of IELTS. In this lesson, we are going to do some names practice, which is actually very important. Why? Because usually we are not familiar with the foreigners' names, so we make mistakes. We have difficulty understanding their names. So what we are going to do now is I am going to give you some names and I want you to write down those names on a piece of paper. And after you have written them all down, I'm going to check that what have you written. So guys, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So take out your pencils and papers. And the first name that I want you to write down is John Smith. Second name is Mr. Sean Fergus. Sean is spelled like Sean. Another name is J.K. Rowling.
Sorry, sir.
Said only once.
Okay.
Because in the test you are going to get it once only. Simon Bramling. 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 Mrs. Hilary Mitchell. Are you done, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, everybody's ready? Okay. All right, what was the first name that I gave you?
John Smith.
How did you spell it?
Johnsmith.
All right. How did you spell it?
Johnsmith.
All right. Okay, what was the second name?
Mr. Sean.
Okay.
Mr. Emma dot
Hmm.
and Shon.
I spelled it out for you. Even then you were not listening. All right. So what was the surname?
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Okay. All right. What was the next name?
Simon Berling.
Simon.
Bramling. Simon Bramling.
How did you spell it?
Siman.
Okay.
And as you spelled it already, Bramling.
Okay. So what are the spellings that you have written?
Simonberling.
Okay, I spelled this surname also, right? I spelled it out. All right. And what was the last name?
Mrs. Henry Michael.
Okay.
Mitchell, sorry.
Okay. Spellings?
Hilreymichal.
Okay. What did you write?
Mrshinarymitheb.
Okay. All right, guys. So now let's do it together on the board. So what was the first name?
John Smith.
John Smith. So this is how you spell John. John. John Smith. What was the second name?
Mr. Sean Ferguson. Mr. Sean Ferguson.
Mr. Sean Ferguson, you said.
Yes, sir.
All right. I said Sean Fergus. Fergus. Got it?
Got it.
All right. What was the third name?
Simon
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling.
What was third? I mean,
The third was J.K. Rowling.
J, are you sure? All right. So J.K. Rowling. By the way, when I asked you, you missed this name out.
Oh, sorry.
No? All right. Fourth one is
Simon Bradley.
Simon.
Bradley.
This is how you spell Simon. Simon. And I spelled this out for you guys. Bramblin. Bramling. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What was the fifth one?
Mrs. Henry Mitchell.
Mrs.
Henry Mitchell.
Hillary
Mitchell.
Mitchell. All right. So this is how you spell Hillary Mitchell.
So then what would be the spelling of Michelle?
Michelle is a totally different name, right? I said Mitchell, not Michelle. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. So now let me tell you some tips about how you can identify, how you can spell, how you can pronounce these names easily. All right. So the tips are, okay. So what are the tips? I want you to note down these tips. Tip number one is capital letters. As you all know that names are what? They're proper nouns. So they need to start with the capital letter. Got it? Always remember that. If you write Simon with a small s, it's wrong. It has to be with the capital S. Got it?
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Number two is spellings are very important. Spellings. You have to spell the name correctly. And you can only spell it if you know how to pronounce it. Right? Okay. And practice these names, different, common foreigners' names, so that they get into your brain, they get into your mind, right? And then you are just okay with them, with the spellings and pronunciation both. All right? Okay. Number three is common names. Like I just said, you should know what common names are. Okay? Because you are going to get a lot of names in your writing, in your listening, in your reading, right? So you need to practice them. You need to know what are the common names that can come into your test. All right? Okay. Number four is initials. What are initials? Do you have an idea? I gave you a name, J.K. Rowling. In this case, J, K are initials. Again, with practice, you should know that how to listen to and focus on the initials. All right? Okay. Fifth is titles. What are titles? What are titles? Titles, like in one of the names, I said Mr. Sean. So Mr. is a title. Mr., Mrs., Miss. MS is right. If you don't know, if the lady you are referring to is either Miss or Mrs., so you only write MS. Okay, doctor, and then it's sir and lady. It is not very commonly used, but got it now. Now I hope that you know how to pronounce and listen to the names so that you know how to spell them correctly. I hope you have found this lesson useful. I'll see you in another class. Thank you very much.